The United States and China have been engaged in a complex and evolving trade war that has significantly impacted global economics, industries, and consumers. This article delves into the origins, key events, economic ramifications, and future prospects of this pivotal conflict, providing a comprehensive understanding tailored for the U.S. audience. The trade tensions between the U.S. and China can be traced back to long-standing concerns over trade imbalances, intellectual property rights, and market access. In 2017, President Donald Trump initiated measures to address these issues, citing a substantial trade deficit and allegations of unfair trade practices by China. This marked the beginning of a series of actions aimed at recalibrating the economic relationship between the two nations. The initial steps involved the U.S. imposing tariffs on Chinese imports, targeting sectors such as steel and aluminum. China responded with retaliatory tariffs on American goods, including agricultural products like soybeans and pork. This tit-for-tat strategy escalated over the years, with both countries imposing multiple rounds of tariffs on hundreds of billions of dollars worth of goods. By 2025, under President Trump's renewed administration, the U.S. implemented a 34% tariff on Chinese imports, prompting China to retaliate with equivalent measures on U.S. goods. The trade war has had multifaceted effects on the U.S. economy. U.S. manufacturers faced increased costs for imported components, leading to reduced investment and job losses. Farmers experienced significant financial strain due to decreased exports to China, with many requiring government assistance to mitigate losses. Tariffs led to higher prices for consumer goods, effectively acting as a tax on American households. Estimates suggest that these measures reduced disposable income for the average American family. The uncertainty surrounding trade policies contributed to stock market volatility, with significant declines observed during periods of heightened tensions. Beyond tariffs, the trade war accelerated a technological decoupling between the U.S. and China. The U.S. imposed restrictions on Chinese technology firms, citing national security concerns, while China invested heavily in developing indigenous technologies to reduce reliance on American innovations. This decoupling has profound implications for global innovation and competition in sectors such as 5G, artificial intelligence, and semiconductors. The U.S.-China trade war has reverberated across the global economy. Multinational companies reevaluated their supply chains, with some relocating production to other countries to circumvent tariffs. This shift aimed to diversify manufacturing bases and reduce dependence on any single nation. The International Monetary Fund warned that trade tensions could reduce global GDP, affecting economies worldwide, particularly those heavily reliant on trade. Tariffs contributed to increased production costs, leading to higher prices for goods and services globally. Efforts to resolve the trade conflict included negotiations resulting in the Phase 1 deal in January 2020, wherein China committed to increased purchases of U.S. goods and enhanced intellectual property protections. However, many structural issues remained unaddressed. Subsequent administrations maintained and, in some cases, expanded tariffs and trade restrictions, reflecting ongoing strategic competition between the two nations. Future prospects: the trajectory of U.S.-China trade relations remains uncertain. While there are avenues for cooperation, such as addressing climate change and global health challenges, significant disagreements persist over trade practices, human rights, and geopolitical influence. The semiconductor industry exemplifies the strategic competition, with both nations investing heavily to achieve technological supremacy. The U.S. has implemented measures to bolster domestic chip production, aiming to reduce dependence on foreign suppliers. The U.S.-China trade war underscores the complexities of global economic interdependence and the challenges of addressing trade imbalances and fair practices. For the U.S., navigating this landscape requires balancing assertive trade policies with the potential domestic economic impacts. As the situation evolves, it remains imperative for policymakers, businesses, and consumers to stay informed and adaptable in the face of ongoing global trade dynamics.